Hey, welcome back, champions. Thank you so much for tuning in to Step Outside Your Comfort Zone, where we are focused on removing the obstacles that stand in your way. Want to get those things out of your way. Tonight, we're going to talk about how to rise from defeat. How to rise from defeat. So if you're watching live, go ahead and type inside of the chat room. Go ahead and type where you're watching from. And if you're watching by replay, go ahead and type hashtag replay so I know that you're watching the replay and I can go ahead and connect with you at a later date just to connect with you and find out what did you think about the message from tonight. How to rise from defeat. So this is a very interesting topic. I've been wanting to talk about this for some time and just kept kind of put it off. And then I just felt tonight would be the perfect night to talk about how to rise from defeat and probably put a twist on this that you didn't see coming. You may not have seen this coming, but it's a great conversation to have and something for you to definitely think about. So I want to dive into this, how to rise from defeat. So I don't know about you, but throughout my life, I found myself many times at the bottom, whether it's emotionally, physically, spiritually, felt tapped out, felt empty, felt drained, depressed, found myself in certain positions where I didn't see a way out. I felt like a failure. Have you ever felt like a failure before? Type yes in the chat if you've ever felt like a failure before. You felt conquered. You felt beaten down. I don't know about you, but I've been there and I've learned some things about being in that position, right? So this is not that much of a rah-rah session as much as there's some things I want to share with you. Now, a good friend of mine, Stuart Tan, talked about this, I think early 2020. I think it was around January, and it just sparked something on the inside of me. So there's a few points that I want to share with you tonight, rising from defeat. First, the definition of the word defeat. Now, this may throw you off a little bit because defeat is not necessarily a bad thing. Now, I know that sounds crazy to you because the definition that we're used to hearing is that defeat is really bad, it's horrible, you're a failure, that you're broken, and things like that. So we kind of look at defeat from the negative side or defeat from the dark side. But there are benefits of being defeated. There are benefits of defeat. I know you haven't heard that before, but tonight is going to be a great message for you then. Because you may have felt like that failure, you may have felt broken, but not so. So when you listen to this word defeat, it means to undo. Check that out. Defeat means to undo. It means being undone, unraveled. It's like knots being undone, to do over. I want you to hold on to that. Defeat means to do over. It means being unraveled. It means being undone, to undo. So when you think about that, you got to admit sometimes in your life, you found yourself in a difficult place or you found yourself on the bottom. And if you look back on your life, that was a pretty good place to be because it gave you the opportunity to do over. You may have been in a relationship that wasn't working out right, that if you'd have stayed in that relationship, the relationship would have probably killed you, right? It could have been a job. It could have been anything where having a second chance. Have you ever wanted to have a second chance or needed a second chance or you needed to bounce back from something? Well, when you're talking about defeat being unraveled, that means it's like spiraling all the way out, hitting rock bottom, right? So the one good thing about hitting rock bottom, there's only one way up. Here's the picture I want you to have. It's like having a blank canvas. When you have a blank canvas, you can do it all over again. You could paint whatever you want. You could create a new vision. When you have a blank canvas, that means you can do it over. Maybe the way you were going wasn't a good path. Maybe the path that you were taking was filled with frustration, filled with anger, filled with disappointment. Do a pulse check of where you are now. Take a moment and just think about where you are now. If you're not happy, you're not enjoying this path, you're not feeling fulfilled, every day is a fight, every day is a battle, and you just wish you could do it all over again so that you can make a different decision, that's what defeat is all about. It's about being undone. It's about unraveling. It's about having the opportunity to do over. See, when you're thinking about defeat, defeat causes you to pause. Think about that. When you feel defeated or you feel like you've lost something, you feel like you're at rock bottom, it causes you to pause because you don't have anything else to do with pause. And you think about the pandemic is this huge pause button. It's a huge pause button. It put the pause on all the plans we had. You wanted to travel, you wanted to do this, you wanted to do that. We had all this stuff where we were so busy that we couldn't even hear the real things that was going on in our world. The pandemic caused us to pause. Right? In scripture, there's a word called Selah that means pause. Think about that. Defeat will cause you to pause and look at your plans. Defeat will cause you to pause and reevaluate. Defeat will cause you to pause and think that direction I was going was the wrong direction. What do I need to do now? How do I take advantage of this opportunity to do it all over again? You know, it's like you went this path, it didn't work. All right. That doesn't mean to quit. Doesn't mean to give up. Just because you was defeated, you're just undone, unraveled. You're unraveled from a lot of strings that were attached to those previous decisions. So now you don't have any strings attached. Now you have a blank canvas. Now you can begin again because of defeat. It allows that opportunity for that to happen. Defeat causes you to make sense of things. Defeat puts you inside of a mindful stage. You become more mindful of the relationships that you connect to. You become more mindful of how you go for things. You become more mindful for how you move and operate. You know, last week was probably the hardest time in my life. The hardest. I've lost people before, but I've never lost two people that I loved and two people that loved me all in the same day. Never happened, right? One of the hardest times in the world for me to have that happen, but it put me in more of a mindful stage. It's causing me to move differently. It's causing me to reevaluate the decisions I've made. It put me in a state of something Marcus Aurelius said was quit living as though you have 1,000 years to live. I am so mindful of that quote. Quit living as though I have 1,000 years to live. Quit living as though you could keep putting things off, keep putting things aside. Talking about I do it tomorrow, allowing procrastination to just invade your life. Can't live that way. I have now, and that's all I have. I got to take advantage of the opportunity now. Feeling crushed and broken, feeling like I'm at the bottom emotionally, physically. This feeling of defeat, of loss, gives me the opportunity to be in more of a mindful stage about my next move, about how I'm going to pursue the next opportunity. And I need to make some tough decisions. If I really want to enjoy the life that I have, it requires a tough decision to make some moves that put me on a trajectory to the goals and the things that I have set. Even goals have changed since last week. Things I thought was important, not so important anymore. Things I thought I needed to do, don't think that anymore. Defeat caused me an opportunity. This feeling of loss, the feeling of being beat down causes me to think more about where I am in this situation. Remember, defeat means to be undone, to be unraveled, to have a blank canvas to start again. Defeat's not a bad thing. I mean, think about it. If you can get a do-over, what would you do with a do-over? Think about that. What would you do with a do-over? A second chance. What would you do with that opportunity? So when you hit rock bottom, Les Brown says, if you fall, try to land on your back, because if you can look up, you could get up. Imagine that. If you fall in defeat, just look up. If you could look up, you could get up. You could begin again. You could start anew, because all that junk is gone. It's off of you. You're free. Now you could begin again. You have a blank canvas. It's a beautiful thing. It's extremely freeing. Defeat, if you look at it the wrong way, it's almost like shadow boxing and you getting knocked out by your own shadow. You got to make some tough decisions to do something differently, because you have everything in you that you need to be successful. Defeat is a blessing for you because you begin again. That's the central idea. I want to drive home about this, because if you're not careful, defeat will lead you into believing that you have no value, that you're worthless, that you should give up, you should cave in, you should quit, you shouldn't keep going. Who cares about what you want to do? What value does it have? You'll start thinking of all the reasons of why not, instead of all of the reasons why to. It's possible, but you can't give up and cave in and quit just because you missed the mark, just because you didn't hit the goal the way you wanted to. No, defeat is not telling you that you can't bounce back. It's telling you now you could begin again. We got rid of all the drama. We got rid of all the mess. We got rid of all the fake people. We got rid of all the people that don't really have your best interests in mind. Now we got rid of all that mess. We could begin again. We have this blank canvas to begin again. The only person that could get in your way on your comeback is you. Willie Jolly says it best. He says a setback is a setup for a comeback. Put that in your notes. A setback is a setup for a comeback. The only person that can stop this comeback for you from defeat is you. No one else can stop this comeback. Only you. That's good to know, because everything else is working for you to bounce back and to start anew, to go ahead and paint whatever canvas you want, to start again. And the only thing that can stop you is what's going on right here in your mind, this 6-inch arena between your left ear and your right ear. That's the only thing that's going to stop you. No one else is going to stop you. The pandemic is not going to stop you. Your haters aren't going to stop you. Whatever perceived limitations aren't going to stop you. The only thing that's going to stop you is in your mind, your decision to quit. And you don't even have a right to quit. There's something in you that all of us need. We need you to live full so that we all could benefit from your experiences, your wisdom, and your knowledge. We need you. We need you to step outside your comfort zone and become who you were born to be and do what you were born to do. You have a purpose. So don't let defeat take you out. It's only a setback for a setup for a comeback. There is value in being undone. It'll help you find everything you need to bounce back. All the resources that you're going to need, you'll be able to see clearly because you got rid of a lot of noise. All of the noise is gone. All of the BS is gone. All of the drama is gone. All you have in front of you is the opportunity to live and live full. That's all you have. And you can do this. And you can do this. So how do you rise from defeat? Look at it in its right perspective. It's not failure. It's not complete brokenness. Defeat is an opportunity because everything has been undone, unraveled. It's the time for you to do it again. How do you rise from defeat? You step outside your comfort zone. You start walking. Take one step and then another step, and another step, and you will find yourself in a very special place. Defeat is just an opportunity to continue to win. It's just an opportunity to continue to win. So I hope you enjoyed this message. Thank you for the team inside of the chat room commenting. Thank you so much for all the support. Thank you so much for typing replay and typing in your comments in the replay section. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Continue stepping outside your comfort zone, and I look forward to talking to you over in the next video. Continue to have a blessed, prosperous, and productive day.